Some have said that the Walt Disney earnings report from yesterday, if you're watching this video at the time of release, was tepid at best. I have a feeling, though, that it's much, much worse. And what is potentially the worst of the worst when it comes to what Disney had to say was what they didn't have to say anything about. That's right, folks. You have to read between the lines on this one, and you have to know the actual numbers. The good thing is we do, and we're ready to bring them to you and show you that indeed it looks like Disney Plus is dying. All right, folks, welcome back to another fantastic video of excellence here on the WDW Pro channel. Such a joy that you are here with us. Disney, however, is probably not very joyous today. They skated around some really negative news and cleverly managed to not absolutely proclaim it in a way that's easy for journalists to put out there. But put it out there, some of these sources have. Now, if you listened in on the earnings call on the Valiant Renegade channel, which, by the way, massive numbers on that, fantastic panel, such a great time. But if you listened in on that, you may have noticed that Disney was very careful not to discuss the absolute numbers they had lost in Disney Plus over the last quarter, last 2 quarters, last 3 quarters. And there was some very clever trickery that Disney used, I think, in order to hide those numbers and keep that from the public in a way that was as damaging as it could have been. Now, to go through this and to walk through why we think that Disney Plus is actually dying right now, it's not dead, it's not absolutely irrecoverable, but it's dying. Here to talk through this with us is Jonas J. Campbell, investigative reporter for thatparkplace.com. Jonas, welcome back.
Good to be here. Disney Plus, you got to get up. You got to get up, Dad.
That's right, like Simba talking to Mufasa.
Yes.
Yes, and it has been absolutely run over by the wildebeest. In this case, the wildebeest are all of those unhappy subscribers leaving Disney Plus for reasons that Disney does not want to yet admit.
Long live the
king. Well, I'm not sure that the subscribers leaving are saying that one, but today we're going to start with an article out of Variety that just goes straight to the issue, and then we're going to talk about how Disney got away from actually proclaiming this as they should have, I think, in that earnings call. And folks, Jonas and I streamed this for 7 hours together yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
We're back at it again, diving into all of this. All right, here we go. This by Cynthia Littleton. Disney Plus Hotstar sheds 12.5 million subscribers in fiscal quarter 3 amid strategy shift. Streaming losses narrow. Now, the focus Disney wants is for everyone to see that the streaming losses narrow. In other words, they're losing less money. But folks, let me tell you, you have to have those subscribers, and 12.5 million subscriber loss, that is just terrible. We're going to talk about where this is happening, though, because in this subtitle, this is the big one.
There you go.
Disney Plus loses 300,000 customers in the U.S. and Canada, while streaming only Hulu gained 300,000. Disney Plus losing that 300,000, you add that to the last quarter where they lost over 200,000, and you find out that in just 6 months, Disney Plus, in its leading primary market, North America, right, where it launched first, it's lost over 500,000 subscribers in just 6 months. Don't listen to the media when they tell you that, oh, well, it's growing overall. It's growing in the core brand new markets. Listen, North America leads the way. Jonas, before we even get into this article, let me just hand it to you. Give me your thoughts on why this is so bad to have lost over 500,000 subscribers in 6 months at this point in the lifespan of Disney Plus.
As Bob Iger always likes to say on these earnings call, and said twice on that earnings call, Disney Plus is a young streaming service. They are relatively new, and he likes to say that's why they had such amazing growth right at the start, and this and that, and this is why it was amazing, and we're still learning, and all of this. He is, if they stopped growth much further down the path, I think this would be okay. They've already been spending $1 billion a quarter on this thing. I think they're more than $13 billion in the hole on Disney Plus, which I believe that would mean they would need to have 13 quarters of profit at $1 billion a quarter in order to make their money back. So right now, this is an all-loss proposition. And before this thing is up and standing on its own, man is already in the forest, to use another.
All right, Jonas. So you made a point that absolutely we need to stop on it for a moment. So when Bob Iger comes out and talks during the Disney earnings call. And this is what all of the journalists and the people who think they are high-level analysts, what they key in on is when Iger talks about profitability. They're going to navigate to profitability. That's the idea. What you're saying is that if they manage to make $1 off of Disney Plus one quarter, that doesn't even come close to making back the money that they've sunk into this. Is that right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, this is more than it costs to build a theme park.
Gotcha.
Several theme parks, even.
Well, let's get back to it then and see just how dire this might be. I think we're being more negative than you'll hear anywhere else, but I also think that we're being accurate. I mean, folks, you can go look at these numbers. When you lose 12.5 million subscribers in a quarter, not good. The Walt Disney Company saw its streaming losses narrow in the second quarter amid an exodus of 12.5 million subscribers from its Disney Plus Hotstar streaming platform in India. Notice again, folks, how that's played out. That's not the only place that they're losing that, but that's the starting paragraph. Thank goodness for the subtitle. For the quarter, Disney exceeded Wall Street's targets on earnings per share, but missed on revenue. The mouse reported total revenue of $22.3 billion. Blah, 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 blah. Disney executives previously warned Wall Street that subscriber losses were coming for Disney Plus Hotstar service amid a strategy shift to move away from low-margin subscribers. Again, it's just about Hotstar, but that's not what is truly the bad thing here. It's that you're losing it in your lead market. Your lead market, North America, is the big one. That's the biggest. You've lost 500,000 subscribers in 2 quarters. It should be offsetting to a large degree what's happening in India, where you're making almost no money off any of those people who are buying in, but it is not. Now, Jonas, the expectation going in, and we covered this in the pre-show yesterday before we started in the earnings call, but the expectation was that they were going to lose somewhere between 7 and 2 million subscribers worldwide. So Wall Street knew about the Hotstar issue. Wall Street knew that they were going to lose huge numbers in India, and Wall Street thought they were going to gain everywhere else. We covered this. CNBC came out an hour before the earnings report and said Disney's going to lose 7.5 million. Then the Wall Street Journal came out and said they're going to lose 2 and change, right? 2 and change million subscribers. Then the real numbers came out, and it was shocking.
Almost
Disney
double.
lost, right, almost double the worst case scenario that we had, and 6 times more than what the Wall Street Journal was predicting. So I don't see any way to put lipstick on this pig.
Right. And as we were talking about before, if all of those numbers were going up, Disney would be glad to lump them all in together. But as soon as they're not favorable, they say, oh, these are the Disney core numbers. Those are the Disney Hotstar numbers. If they want to brag about their streaming service, they combine all of those numbers together. If they want to make excuses, which is what they're doing now, they say, oh, no, that's India, that's low average revenue per user, which, by the way, Disney Plus went up by 15 cents per user on average revenue per user. Every other streaming service that they have went down.
All right, so let's take a look at this Disney core issue. This is a big one. This is how Disney skated around the issue, and right here it is in Variety. Disney notched a gain of 800,000 subscribers in other parts of the world. Okay, so not India. In the US and Canada, Disney Plus lost 300,000 subscribers, while the streaming-only side of Hulu gained about the same number. All right, now the way this is being played is that Disney decided that they were going to eliminate the India market essentially completely and label everything else the Disney core. Then, because they're opening new markets around the world, right, that's still a process that's happening inside Disney, because they are opening Disney Plus around the world still in minor markets, let's say, although people, if you live in those markets, you're not minor at all. We're just talking about the size of the markets and how much Disney has built up the infrastructure there. But they're gaining some subscribers there. If you take the North American losses and compare that to the new markets opening, you get to this 800,000 increase. But again, North America is the lead market. It's your highest margin market.
Can I also add
forecast where we're going the rest of the world? Go, Jonas. Yes.
Disney Plus outside of the United States is essentially a Disney Plus Hulu market. So areas where they're offering more than Disney branded content are the areas where they're seeing growth.
What a fantastic point! That you are exactly right, Jonas. And I had not thought of that. We are comparing apples to oranges when we do this Disney core,
or apples to an apple plus an orange.
That's right. Well, that's true. Yes, absolutely. So excellent point there. Now, let's take a look, Jonas, at where this puts us for Disney Plus. Okay, so these are the Disney Plus subscribers worldwide, and it's not updated for today, of course. So we've got number of Disney Plus subscribers worldwide, first quarter 2020 to second quarter 2023. This out of Statista.com. And based on what we know now, Jonas, where would we be in terms of the total subscribers? It was 157 for quarter two 2023. So where is it if we drop 12? Well, we're below quarter three of 2022 now. So if you when this gets updated, we are trending now down to quarter two 2022.
Yeah, and if we're adding in the gains and all that, it's 146.1 million.
Okay, so 146.1 million. So just above quarter two 2022. That's not a good looking graph, especially when you're talking about a service that is not yet profitable, that is not yet mature, and that is trying to grow. And at the same time, and this is where we get to the idea that Disney is dying. The other big point that Disney is making is that they are reducing their losses. Well, it's easy to reduce your losses when you shut down. And that's what Disney is trying to do. They're trying to shut down the cadence of their content releases, right? They want to eliminate the money that they're putting in, both by lowering budgets on their programs, but also reducing the number of new programs. And at the same time, they want to grow, but they're not growing yet.
Right.
So I don't see how this can. I don't see how this can function. And I'm not as rosy about this. You know, the articles out there are all proclaiming Disney lowers their losses, and it's like,
no,
well, technically,
absolutely not.
But functionally, this is horrendous. So Jonas, walk us through it.
Okay, so let's talk about some statements that were made on that call that just don't quite jive with things that were also said in that call, and maybe some things they've said in the past. First of all, Bob Iger said that they have a rich flow of content in order to appeal to advertisers who might have been listening to that call.
And Jonas, we already know too that the advertising side of this, through leaks that we've received from sources, and thank you to those sources, we know that the advertising, by the way, folks, we can't corroborate this independently for you right now, but we've given you enough over the last few days. I think you can go with it. But
yes.
We know that they're missing those targets.
Right, and you can see the ad figures that are in the quarterly earnings reports as well. They're not fantastic. I'll say that.
Lining up with what the reporting we've been doing. Yes.
Yes. While they're saying that, oh well, we have this rich flow of content for advertisers, they're also talking about lowering their content spending less on content and releasing it less frequently. And I believe that was a dig, or specifically referring to Marvel and Lucasfilm.
Yes.
Probably also Pixar, which they've been the quiet problem child that's just didn't crash the car today, but they still need to get to them later. So those two statements don't quite jive. The fact that they're going to spend less on content, release it less frequently, but also they have a quote unquote rich flow of content. Also, they did praise the end of last year and the gains that they made by raising the price on Disney Plus, and that the streaming service was still healthy. Well, guess who they fired last year because of Disney Plus numbers and the outlook on Disney Plus officially? Bob Chapek.
Exactly. Now, Jonas, the fascinating thing to me beyond this, of course, is that they're also taking perhaps the Bob Chapek, but maybe we should place this blame on Josh D'Amaro, the head of Disney Parks and Experiences. They're taking the park strategy for Disney Plus. This is an already failed strategy. Let me explain. What they're doing is, in the parks, they've decided that they no longer want to really expand them. So they replace attractions for the most part. They don't add capacity. So they don't add more space for people to go in, and you can add additional people going through the turnstiles. And that has proved to be really a horrendous decision for Disney. We'll be doing more videos on that. The idea then is, how do you grow the money, the revenues out of the parks? Well, you find every way in the world to derive more money out of the wallets of those people who are coming to your parks. So you increase the revenue per guest. That's what Disney is up to now with Disney Plus. They've essentially said, we're going to cut back on the new stuff. We're going to cut back on the new programs. We're going to cut back on the new shows. We're going to find ways to derive more money out of the subscribers we have. I think that's an anti-growth proposition. Let's take a look at this article out of The Verge. Again, as we explore that Disney Plus is indeed dying, not to say that it is a foregone conclusion that this will fail. I don't think it will. but at this point, they are in negative territory significantly with 3 sequential quarters of negativity. This out of The Verge, Disney Plus and Hulu are about to get even more expensive. Disney is increasing the no ads subscription price of both services in October. You'll be able to get a new duo combo that bundles them for $20 per month. That's talking about adding Hulu. Disney is once again raising the ad-free prices of both Disney Plus and Hulu this fall. Beginning on October 12th, Disney Plus will cost $13.99 per month, while Hulu's no ads tier will run essentially $18. The ad-sponsored tiers of both services will, for now, each remain $8. Perhaps to ease that blow, the company is introducing a new combo subscription. No, that is not why they're introducing the combo subscription. That will bundle ad-free experiences for both Disney Plus and Hulu for $20 per month. That plan will be available on September 6th. Folks, we've been reporting on this. This is called Project Hulk. This is what Disney wants to do, where they're going to combine Disney Plus and Hulu to a large degree, and then far more over time, into a single app experience, and that transition likely begins this December. But these subscription hikes to the standalone services are substantial. Disney last raised the cost of Disney Plus to $11 a month ago. At that time, ad-free Hulu jumped to $15. It now costs more than the ad tier of Warner Brothers Discovery's Max service, which is $16 monthly. Goes on to talk more about all of this. We'll leave this graph up, folks, for you to be able to take a look at. In fact, we'll even zoom in so you get a better picture of that. But Jonas, this is the strategy, right? They want to wrangle more cash out of the customers. At the same time, they reduce the quality and the content that they're willing to provide. Right. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, this is a legitimate business strategy that works on occasion. You just have to. Your bet is that the customers that you lose will be made up for the raise in price on the customers that stay.
It's a lose strategy at its heart.
Right. Because right now, Max offers more content, and this is not accounting for taste on individual shows, but Max offers more content. Netflix offers more content. Hulu is probably a better proposition than Disney Plus right now because there's more frequent content coming out on Hulu that can appeal to a wider array of audiences, as opposed to the expensive babysitter service who might try to corrupt your kids over there on Disney Plus. I just don't see. Oh, and this is, of course, ignoring Hulu's down there at the bottom. Hulu's cable replacement service down there. This is. I don't see this as a good strategy for Disney Plus. As I have said many times on this channel and Valiant Renegade, they need to make Hulu the primary service and Disney Plus the premium tier that you pay that premium price. Still keep it high, but if you want to watch The Mandalorian, if you want to watch whatever it is, and then that affords Disney the opportunity to make it slower, make this truly eventized content, and people aren't waiting for you to come out with something on a frequent basis and pretend to fill out a streaming service. Instead, they're getting the cart before the horse. They want people to subscribe for Disney, be disappointed by Disney, and go over there for that Hulu stuff. I don't think it's a good idea.
I think what we're watching is the justification and the what would you say, the escape attempts from Disney from the base fact that they don't know how to make strong event television streaming shows for their program.
They really don't.
And so all of this is kind of trying to escape that base issue they have. They're losing subscribers because they don't produce content that is interesting, and at the same time they're creating uninteresting shows and programming at insane budgets. I mean, think about Secret Invasion. Think about all of the Marvel stuff. Think about Star Wars. We've got Ahsoka coming out. We know the Acolyte costs as much as a major motion picture, and there's zero interest in the Acolyte. So Disney doesn't do Stranger Things. They had one good show. They had The Mandalorian in terms of driving cultural interest. And then they had a chance at it maybe with the first season of Loki. But they've decimated both of those, and they've never had another hit. One of the things I've been looking at, Jonas, is if you go back and just check out all of the various songs and memes and trending fan-created content surrounding the show Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. I was checking this out. You had so many things made up about Dusty Buns in that end of the third season, the finale there. From the fourth season, you had Chrissy Wake Up, the song that was remastered, off of the show, and people loving it. You had Running Up That Hill, came back, from the 80s. not necessarily a big hit even back in the 80s, and all of a sudden it's trending at the top of the charts. Disney Plus never does any of that. You don't have to know the numbers to know that there's something going on when a single show on Netflix. We don't even have to talk about Wednesday. Just a single show of Stranger Things is outdoing Disney Plus in that arena.
There's only one exception to that rule, and that's Encanto. And everybody knows we don't talk about Bruno. And if you don't, well, okay, maybe you've proven my point. But everybody else.
But that's a movie, Jonas, and that's
right. But it only found its success on Disney Plus.
Okay, granted that, yes.
Now here's something I'll say. I have not watched Stranger Things season 4. I don't know what the latest season is, but I have a pretty good idea of what it is and what happens in that season, and I know who Vecna is and how he works, and I have not seen it. So there's the cultural osmosis for you. I have this awareness of this property. Whereas I have watched some of these Disney Plus shows, and I still can't quite tell you what the cultural things they're trying to speak to are.
Oh, I can tell you what they're trying to speak to.
Well, yes, of course, there's that ideology in there, but Secret Invasion is so boring and weird with mixes of things that, oh yeah, they get all the superpowers. Okay, well, that should be amazing. And instead, it's a bland CGI fest.
Absolutely.
And my I stand in solidarity with the VFX workers. We know that if you had been given the time and the appropriate material, you could have done something fantastic. I trust that it was not your fault.
They got Alonzo'd. So at the same time that we're discussing all of this, and you know, this is not going to be the focus, I don't think, of articles coming up. Maybe the mainstream will catch on and say, hey, you've lost more than 500,000 subs in North America in the last 6 months. And more than that, if we go back farther, you're in negative growth territory. Hey, this is not just an India issue. Hey, you've got a real problem. You're losing ground to Netflix. Netflix is gaining millions of subscribers and you're losing. I don't know that we're going to see a tremendous amount of coverage that way, but it is the reality. At the same time, take a look at this article out of Android Authority, this by Adamya Sharma. Disney Plus joins Netflix and password sharing crackdown hikes prices. U.S. customers will also have access to a new ad-free bundled subscription plan. But the real story here is Disney's ready to start cutting out those of you out there who are sharing a password with family members. Disney Plus is the latest streaming service to join Netflix in its crusade against password sharing. Disney CEO Bob Iger hinted at plans to restrict account sharing on Disney Plus starting in 2024. Here's what he said. We're actively exploring ways to address account sharing and the best options for paying subscribers to share their accounts with families and friends. The executive said on Wednesday during the company's earnings call, later this year, we will begin to update our subscriber agreements with additional terms and our sharing policies. So, Jonas, the issue here is, okay, so let's look at this. You're losing subscribers in your lead market. You're hiking the price. You seem to be bringing in another streaming service that's more successful, but you're going to turn it into just a single blade at the top, talking about Hulu. And you're going to eliminate the ability to share these plans with family members, which means that unlike Netflix, which provides a very supreme proposition to customers, and so when they lost their ability to share, they bought in. I think on Disney Plus, this could actually cost them even more subscribers because I don't think that they add a lot of value, especially as they're cutting the cadence of their content.
You know what I just realized? They have to integrate Hulu before this happens. They have to kill Hulu in order for the password sharing crackdown to work. Because generally speaking, I mean, the old numbers are that it's grandparents who are buying Disney Plus, and all the grandkids are the ones that are using the password outside of the main household. If we get in a situation where the price goes up too much and they're cracking down on passwords, which probably means that they'll just charge an additional amount and, you know, say, okay, you're signing in here, we want this much money in order for that to work. I don't know that they gain from what they lose there.
That's the Hulu deal then. They want to bring Hulu in to the right. Exactly.
Just to plainly state this for anyone who doesn't understand, the password sharing thing, it creates friction for cancellation. If I have it and let's say my cousin, if both of us are using the same account, you have to hack off both people in order to say, I'm canceling this, right? Exactly. It's as opposed to just one of us saying, I don't really want to this month and maybe I'll pick it up later. You don't have to consult another person and therefore you just cancel it. Password sharing and cracking down on password sharing it decreases the friction unless you have content there that they want that is not that Disney branded content, like Hulu, that grown-ups watch on a regular basis. And if we understand the Disney brand right now, they seem to be acknowledging that they want to appeal more to grown-ups who have the pocketbooks, who are a pocketbook. What am I, a woman in the 80s?
Jonas, get your Rolodex and find out who you need to call to get your vernacular updated.
That have the money. Anyways, they're trying to increase friction, and they're putting Hulu and Disney Plus together to try to increase friction. So I think I see the strategy there, but still, I think that there might be a backfire in grown-ups who are kind of sick of Disney right now. And guess what? They have similar content on Warner Brothers and Netflix, on Max and Netflix and Paramount Plus that is not so offensive in their presentation.
Well, it's a heck of a gamble and a heck of hubris to take what is effectively a more successful streaming platform now. Hulu makes money. Hulu gained subscribers in the lead market. Disney Plus lost. Disney loses money. But to subjugate Hulu now into Disney Plus, and you do so at the cost of buying Hulu, and Hulu, of course, is going to cost them about the same amount of money now as Fox did, just to finish off this buying the last third of it. And you're going to buy it essentially to kill it by subjugating it to Disney Plus so that you can create additional friction because you want to wrangle more money out of customers by eliminating the friction that already exists with password sharing. Now that is a heck of a gamble, and that is the kind of stuff, folks, you won't hear, I don't think, anywhere else. But we've been on the lead on this and what they're planning with Hulu. We've been leaking this stuff out to you as our sources have come to us. And Jonas, I think you've stumbled upon exactly what is at play here. The reason why they want to integrate Hulu, fantastic point. Jonas, let's go to the final thoughts on this, on Disney Plus. And I guess the big final thought here is, do you agree or disagree with my thesis that at this point in its lifespan, Disney Plus is dying?
Absolutely. If they don't fix their content problem, which it doesn't sound like they're going to do that for several years, emphasis, several years before they fix that content problem, then they have a big problem they cannot fix, and they are going to continue to lose subscribers. And if they continue down this pathway, let's say the next big film they get is Snow White and the Seven Dirty Hippies, as we like to call it around here, I don't think they have a solution. I'm trying to think of the next thing that they could put on their streaming service. Unless they start renting content from other companies that are making better content, like Super Mario Brothers, not happening. It's not going to be fixed.
You know, I have a feeling, Jonas, that what Disney is thinking right now, they talk about this giant transformation they're undergoing, but it doesn't look like a transformation. It looks like a company in decline.
Whenever they say transformative, it's an excuse. It's absolutely an excuse. We need cover for another quarter. We need cover for at least one more quarter. David Zaslav did not use transformation as an excuse. He said, this is what's happening. This is where we're going. He might have used the word transformative, but go watch. If somebody watched our earnings call and saw the desperation on the Disney call, go look at Warner Brothers and go look at Comcast. When they are transforming, they don't end up in these weird defensive positions.
Well, Jonas, let me give you a thought, and audience, let us know what you think about this. I wonder if the transformative aspect that maybe we haven't been fully told about yet is, I think Disney's going full force into artificial intelligence, and that's how they intend to reduce the spend and yet somehow manage to get more content onto Disney Plus.
Humans, what is this thing you call gender?
Your service is dying. Can I help you?
Help you kill it faster. And unfortunately, some of the content is so bad that maybe an AI just aping what has been there in the past might be an improvement. There are some shows where it really seems like it might have been written by a robot alien AI. You know, something we didn't really talk about in there is that cable subscription replacement service, Hulu with live TV, that is also stagnated and appears to be dying. That is the only competition to YouTube TV in the internet-based cable replacement service. There's probably a very in-the-weeds video about that. They seem to have given up on that aspect of the company. I think they need to really think that through before they let that die.
Well, there's plenty dying. So, some stuff they're letting it happen and some stuff they are unintentionally killing right on their own. Folks, this is the kind of analysis we love to do. And what we want to know now, what's your thought on it? You've listened to the whole thing. Let us know down in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is Disney Plus dying? We care about your thoughts. We covet your comments. So drop one down below. If you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. If you are not yet a member of this channel, it is the price of a soda per month. Think about joining. You'll gain access to all kinds of exclusive content behind the scenes, not available to the general public. And the Pro Show is live. If you're watching this video at the time of its release, that is Thursday, August 10th, we have the Pro Show coming out today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Jonas, who's our special guest today?
We have the Talmud of Trek, the Duke of Discourse, the post-geek singularity himself, Robert Meyer Burnett, coming on the show, and a lot of wonderful guests along with him. It's going to be a great show. I'm very much looking forward to it. We may rip into new Trek a little bit while he's there. Here.
Great stuff. Yes, I think we will touch on that as well as more Disney. And folks, you do not want to miss it. Also, want to give a special shout out today, folks. Space Dave 2000, a VI Pro level member out there, gifted 100 memberships to the WDW Pro channel yesterday, and also gifted memberships to the Valiant Renegade channel. We want to say a huge thank you. We had massive numbers on the earnings report coverage, and folks, we're going to continue to report it. We're going to continue to analyze it. We're going to give you the actual information, because I don't think that too many sources outside of our orbit of channels are going to do that accurately, and we intend to do just that. We intend to tell the truth. We think it's important. Folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Make sure to catch the Pro Show Thursdays 5 to 7 Eastern Time. Entertainment Explained, The Culture Curve Conquered, live with Pro and all his friends.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I pay for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney, or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and, less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd have think?